Vivek Ramaswamy just dropped some major truth bombs during his presidential debate on November 8, 2023. But in my humble opinion, the most important truth bomb that he dropped was in his recent interview with Pat Bev David, and that's what we're going to get into today. Now, Vivek just risked his political career by doing something that most of us do here in this community. He had a presidential debate where he called out 3 women. He called out Ronna McDaniel, he called out Nikki Haley, and he called out Kristen Welker. He said that Ronna McDaniel was extremely ineffective in her job. She's created a losing party. He said that Kristen Welker is a corrupt media source that pushes false narratives. And he also said that Nikki Haley was a corrupt warmonger, and that's why she was on stage begging for us to go to war, because she makes money off of that. After you start dropping these truth bombs, do you expect a man or a woman to be like, oh no, thank you so much for exposing me? No. But unfortunately, when we start dropping these truth bombs on men, it's completely different than when we start dropping these truth bombs on women. So now, in this space, and for a very long time, probably since the beginning of time, the question that we have always had is, are women capable of being good or great leaders? If you put a woman in a leadership position, is it possible to hold that woman accountable when you have a bunch of powerful men, or when you have men or people in positions of power that will not allow her to actually face the consequences of her action? Are women capable of being leaders when they have so much protection from their own bad decisions? Do women have the emotional intelligence to be leaders? Now, I know in our society nowadays, when we talk about emotional intelligence, we make it seem as if women have ownership over emotional intelligence. We make it seem as if when we start talking about therapy and emotional intelligence that we need to defer to women. But actually, when you think about it, men have actually been trained, and for good reasons, to be great at regulating their emotion. When we look at women on the other hand, and we see women when they get upset and the things that they do when they upset, we would never accept those things from a man. Let's listen to what he had to say.
But here's the thing, man, because I have been very critical of the corrupt Democratic establishment, the Pelosi's, the Bidens, the Hillary Clintons of the world. But I can't do that with credibility if we have the same problem in our own house, but then you're not supposed to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And here's the thing that, the Republican Party claims to be the party that is against identity politics. I mean, there's an unspoken rule in the Republican Party that if you have 2 X chromosomes, you got to be careful about going after her. And I get that. I mean, the political consulting class tells me that as well in the first couple debates. Yeah, I've probably got the bad advice, but, she's called me 4-letter words each of the last few debates, but there's a certain thing, if you have 2 X chromosomes, somehow you're immune from criticism. That's not what the Republican Party stands for. Identity politics. If you're running for U.S. president, you can't handle the heat, you stay out of the kitchen. You want to sit across the table from Xi Jinping? You better be able to confront basic questions like your tax returns, or how you made your money, or who the clients of Allied Defense LLC are, and how that relates to your foreign policy that, frankly, makes more money by taking us to war.
I just want to say thank you, Vivek. Thank you for exposing what we have already known in this community for the longest, that the establishment, mainstream media, the government is all being compromised by this BS system that we've set up to support women in leadership. Thank you for exposing the truth. This is something that we have been saying for the longest on this side. But the fact that you actually have been going through the political process, and they actually giving you speaking cues, and they're telling you the do's and don'ts, and you decided to go against those do's and don'ts and get all the backlash, and then come on Pat Bev Dave and expose it, it just further lets us get a peek behind the curtain and see what's really, really going on in this country. This is not a political channel. I'm not talking about politics, but what I'm saying is that we are in a position where people want accountability. People want truth. Let me tell you what people saying in the comment section. True and decent Americans are sick of the BS and are starving for people like Vivek and Trump to call out BS. This dude is smart as F, and he looks to hold people accountable, and we need this as a country. Ramaswamy is inspiring to ordinary folks. He didn't come from money. He made money through sheer intelligence and hard work. I'm not crazy about Vivek, but he is absolutely spot on and deserves props for telling it straight. If you enjoyed this video, I got more videos like this, man. I got a great video below, click below, called Avoid Women Like Courtney Michelle. And it's to help you brothers that keep getting caught up with chameleons. You don't know what the red flags are. You need to know what the red flags are. So that way you can save your time, you can save your energy, you can save your money, and you can save your attention. So you can save your meat.
Hey, yo.